Hey everyone, welcome back to another Ask Mevo Anything. I am Joe Capar. I am the Senior Technical Specialist here at Mevo, and I'm super excited to have you all back for another Mevo Live. For those who don't know, our Mevo Live shows, we get to really demonstrate and deep dive into all of our products, all of our apps, and everything like that. So I've got Will here as well. He's ready to go through multicam. I've got Mevo 2.0 configured. We're going to go through all of the ins and outs of all of these things. And as always, if you have any technical questions or any questions at all, make sure you put those in the chat. We are live on YouTube and on Facebook. So whether you're on either or, we do have someone monitoring the chat to make sure we get those questions. And we're going to do our best to answer or even demonstrate those questions or the response to those questions live today. So please make sure you put those in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from today as well. We're very curious, and let us know if you're using your Mevo in any unique ways. If you were unaware, we actually we track those who use hashtag Mevo Camera on their posts, their streams, whatever it may be, and we actually take that content and we try to share it as well. So if you're doing something really unique, you want us to see it and maybe have us share that, we would love for you to do that and just use hashtag Mevo Camera. And luckily, like I said today, I am joined by Will, so let's go over and say Will.
Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Will Kirkpatrick. I'm a technical specialist here at Mevo, and I'm happy to answer any multicam questions that you have, so please be sure to put those in chat.
Awesome. So as always, like I said, we are going to be doing a lot of demonstrating today. For today's show, we are using 3 or 4 Mevo starts. For audio, we have, for me, I have a blue baby bottle going into an XLR mixer, going out into my Mevo Start, letting the Mevo Start do all of the audio syncing with video and everything. And then for Will, he's using also another blue mic. I can't ever remember the name of that, so I'm going to let you go ahead.
It's the Bluebird, yeah. That's what makes it sound so great.
Bluebird. It's always interesting. Always trying to remember these different microphones. Is that we've got the Bluebird, we've got the baby bottle. The baby bottle stood out a lot more to me than the Bluebird does, so I can't ever forget it. It feels like. Let me get these questions up. I want to make sure we're getting that right today. A lot of the things we really want to talk about today is. Oh, I think I may have done something wrong here. There we go. Perfect. I thought I might have accidentally ended the stream today. What a day it has been. But once again, if you're just joining us, I am Joe Capar. We are here to answer all of your Mevo related questions, whether it's multicam, whether it's the Mevo 2.0 app. And if we can get away with demonstrating the things, we would love to do that. It's one of the best parts. Interacting in these shows. I know Will loves it. I love it. Joseph loves it. We do go live 4 times a week. Tuesdays we do an Ask Mevo Anything where you get to Q&A me, and I talk about various different topics. On Wednesdays, Will goes into those deep dives for multicam, which everyone is very excited about now because we have that 3-pack that came out for $9.99 on Mevo.com. And then on Thursdays, it's our Mevo Live, which is today. We get the deep dive, and what we really do on those shows is we really want to make sure we demo. We want to demo, whether it's showing you my screen. Let's see if the screen's actually configured. There we go. Whether it's showing you here, it looks like I'm frozen on my mirror, but it is what it is. And we get the demo, things like that. And then Will's also set up and configured to get multicam shared as well. Let's go ahead and just get into some of these questions just to get started. Tamika Price says, can you use Amiibo with your phone to make TikTok videos? Unfortunately, at this time, we do not integrate directly with TikTok. However, what you can do is you can absolutely use your Mevo, record to the SD card, edit it, and then upload it to TikTok. But as far as uploading directly from the Mevo or the Mevo library, you won't be able to actually do that as it stands right now. Mac3D says, has anyone ever used a Mevo in tandem with 3D printing streams? I've not seen it. I have not personally seen it myself, so it's really hard to say. I'm sure a lot of people do. Dennis talks about the Mevo affiliate program. It's perfect. It's the perfect time. Let me just go ahead and send it over to the referral. Where'd it go? Where did it go? I can send you here. And Will can tell you about it.
Referral program, and what it is if you refer a friend, then that'll save them 5% and you'll get 5% commission back. So it's a great way to spread the Mevo love and get some back yourself.
And what's really cool about this, and I try to stress it a lot, is that you can basically create this custom coupon code and you can associate it with, whether it's your YouTube channel, your Twitch channel, your organization, whatever it might be. and you can hand that out to people and save them some money. And then of course you're also collecting that 5% commission. But I mean, what people really care about is saving themselves some money, typically. So you get to kind of show your connection with Mevo, show your custom coupon code, and show basically your affiliation with us, and earn yourself some money. And it's perfect because like if most people, at least most users that I know, are already doing this anyways. So you may as well go ahead and take advantage of it while you're doing it. Michael says, if you are using a 3-camera multicam option, do you recommend a switcher?
Absolutely not. I recommend multicam, the app, a lot more than a switcher. Obviously, you can do some software switcher. Right now we're using OBS with our multiple camera setups, but we also have a setup in the multicam app, which is much easier and cheaper.
And the next one is also a multicam question. Ben says, are you using the multicam app for the show today? If so, how did you do the countdown?
So we are using we're using OBS today, the original OBS, and that's how we did the countdown.
Yes, indeed. So as it stands right now, we don't have the ability to actually use countdowns within the multicam app. However, hopefully it'll come sooner than later. We absolutely have every intention on bringing that feature over to multicam. It just didn't make version 1, but we already have a decent idea of like how quickly we want to get that resolved. There's a lot of things, including audio and a lot of other really neat multicam things that we want to make sure. Our Mevo 2.0 things we want to make sure actually makes it to multicam. Our goal is to, if it's possible, we want to do it. Is essentially, I mean, that's the gist of it. I don't really want to make things complicated or anything like that. But you can absolutely do things like that. But with the multicam setup, you actually can take advantage right now on Mevo.com. I know I briefly mentioned it with the pack here. I've got the 3-pack. On Mevo.com, you can absolutely take advantage of the 3-pack for $9.99. I think I have a little graphic around here somewhere. I just want to make sure I've got it pulled up. I know I had it configured on Streamlabs, and then we moved over to OBS just to check that out. And I'm not seeing it. Of course not. Why would I have that graphic? But I believe Will probably has it ready on multicam, don't you? I'm assuming you do. You got a smile on your face.
Yeah, so right now on Mevo.com, you can get the Mevo Start 3-pack. So this is a great way to jump into the multicam universe. Also, if you already have a single Mevo, you can purchase the 3-pack and just get that great discount. And maybe you want to spread the love even further than the referral program and hook somebody up with a Mevo Start. So we've got obviously the 3-pack. We also have a great bundle deal right now on Mevo.com, and that's the DJ bundle. And so that's a Mevo Start. Look, there we go. I've got a graphic for it right there. Mevo Start case, power over Ethernet adapter, and a floor stand. And don't forget, you don't have to be a DJ to enjoy the DJ bundle.
Yeah, I know we have this tendency to name all of these cool bundles after things. Well, there's the desktop bundle, the streamers bundle, the cookers bundle. I don't think we've done that one yet, but I'm sure it's coming. We name all of these things, but that doesn't mean that you can't use it if you are not one of those individuals that are being targeted. It's just typically what we do is when we're running our promotions, we usually have example footage that we like to share. So typically users are seeing that footage and then they want to know what they can get, and we try to make it as less confusing as possible by, when they see that ad of someone cooking or someone DJing, we want to make sure that if they do go to Mevo.com, they know exactly what works for that ad. But of course, that doesn't mean anything. It just means you're going to save some money. Regardless of the reason that you're using it, you can take advantage of those sales. All right, so I had to fix your screen for a second. The overlay for sharing. It was disappeared. I'm telling you, every time we try to reflect something, it always has something going on. Samuel says, will that new update enable sharing things like slides from Pro Presenter? So Samuel, that's a great question. We have tons of goals that we want to do. As you can see on the Mevo.com website, we advertise things like NDI inputs, or NDI in general. I don't know if it's inputs, outputs, but there's a lot of things we really want to do. So when it comes down to it, we're not targeting Pro Presenter, but if Pro Presenter has an NDI out or an NDI in, whatever it may be, then you can use it with your Mevo and then hopefully multicam in the future. But we're not like specifically targeting integration with Pro Presenter. but in general, just the ability of NDI sources. And that's definitely coming. It's definitely not coming in like a 1.1 or anything like that, but it is going to come eventually as NDI integration. Jeff says, is there a source you drop lower thirds? Can you specify clarify a little bit? For our lower thirds today, I am using OBS and I'm controlling it with a Stream Deck over here. And then if you want to, in the Mevo 2.0 app, for example, let me just connect to this camera real quick and I can show you exactly what it looks like to use. Let me just desk demo. Can I do that right now? Of course not. Let me fix that and then I'll get that back up on the screen. But I can show you right now what it actually looks like with an overlay from the Mevo 2.0 app. And then Will can even show you a overlay for a lower third in the multicam app. But for my specific use case, here is an overlay from the Mevo 2.0 app, the lower third. It lets you add an image, lets you add some text, then like a title, name, whatever you want to do. You can also do just a single line of text if you want, and it'll center that as well. You can change the colors of it all within the app. And then the same similar setups for multicam, which Will has ready for you right now, I think in portrait mode.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you can see right here, I've got this nice little Mevo Start 3-pack lower third. This is actually a full screen overlay graphic. I can turn that on and off really easily. If you wanted to do specifically a lower third, you can tap that blue plus, go to graphics, and there you go. There's lower third right there. Hi, Joe. You can adjust the color as you want. Maybe I'll make it like that. And I'll put it right in that shot. There you go. Hi, Joe.
Easy. Yeah, that's awesome. That's wonderful. Sorry, I accidentally switched shots too soon. But no, that's great. I'm going to try to get the Mevo 2.0 app demo up. If you were unaware how we actually do these things, for this show in particular, we use an application called Reflector, and it allows our devices to connect wirelessly and show the screen on our computer. That way we can rebroadcast that back out. So unfortunately, Will's iPad's doing a lot better than my phone is at keeping a connection to the computer using this application. But you can definitely bring it back, hopefully sooner than later when it comes to that. So Dennis says, YOLO Live, YOLO Box, Smart Multi-Camera Live Streaming Studio. That is very long. Plus Mevo. Oh, I'm unsure. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know what the YOLO Live, YOLO Box, Smart Multi-Camera Live Streaming Studio is. Is it like a... Is it a mixer?
Yeah, basically. So because the Mevo doesn't have a HDMI video out option, it's not compatible with the YOLO.
So that's much like the Atom Mini, the Atom series. I believe they all require HDMIs. Basically, if you're trying to use your Mevo with a third-party product, you've got a few options. Does it accept UVC, which is our webcam mode via USB? Does it accept RTMP inputs? If so, then the Mevo can broadcast to that. Does it accept NDI? If so, the Mevo can broadcast to that as well. Now, we do have a wireless webcam abilities for Windows and for Mac. Those are both in beta that you can get on the Mevo webcam beta group. But I mean, for the most part, those are your options if you're trying to use third-party solutions when it comes to switching. I know our most mainstream things, Ecamm, Streamlabs OBS, Wirecast, vMix, Livestream Studio, all of those are compatible with Mevo because they all accept webcams, they all accept NDI, and they all accept RTMP they do technically, but you do need an RTMP server set up. Livestream Studio is pretty convenient because it has one built in, but when it comes to actually trying to set up things like a source, an inbound source, it's extremely easy. Dennis says, will Mevo work with iPad 8 Gen 2020? I believe so. I mean, that's not the M1 version, right? Is it specific? Did Apple actually change their names when it came to the M1s? Did anything change?
Not really. I think all of the iOS devices have been using some form of M chip for a long time. So yeah, it's a different kind of setup than the computers are.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're the Apple guy. I'm definitely not an Apple guy. So it's definitely hard to keep up. So apparently iPad 8 Gen should work, the 2020 version. The only real configuration issues you're going to see when you're using a Mevo is we do not support compatibility with Chromebooks. Chromebooks use a modified kernel for, they do use an Android kernel, but they're modified heavily. So unfortunately, we can't rely on the modifications that were made to make sure Mevo still works or the app still works. Some Chromebooks you might see successfully working, some you won't, some may be hit or miss. When it comes to Android devices, I believe you need Android 6 and newer, and then for iOS you need iOS 11 and newer, and then of course iOS or the Apple devices, some M1 devices will have some compatibility issues, but when it comes to actually most of the iOS devices, as long as it's 11 and newer, you should be good to go. Michael says, with Mevo you can record and then edit afterwards, correct? Doesn't have to be live, correct? Okay, so this question is kind of twofold. When it comes to the Mevo, you can record and edit afterwards. However, the editing cannot happen in the Mevo app. You would need to edit in a third-party app, whether it's on your mobile device or whether it's on your computer, something like that. But you are correct. You do not have to be live to record. You just record to your micro SD card. You can download the footage, whether it's to your mobile device, like I mentioned. Take the SD card, attach it to a computer. You can edit it there. I recommend editing on a computer. It's just significantly quicker. The download process is a lot quicker and everything like that. Let's see here. So we've got a comment from the Lutheran Church, says, can we use different zoom angles in the 3-camera setup? No, that's you, my friend.
So right now you can't set up static shots using the multicam app, but you can certainly have different zoom levels for each one of the cameras that you have set up. So I can show you really quick how to do crop and zoom. So as you can see on my iPad right here, I'm going to do the 3 dots, and then I'm going to select crop and zoom, and it's going to rotate it like that. There we go. Oh, it's a little off there. Oh, it is perfect. Well, let's just, so, there you go. As you can very easily see the iPad now. Yeah, maybe we can get rid of that frame. So yeah, you can just pinch and there we go. Pinch and zoom, and then we're gonna drop that completely now. There we go. All right.
I was really stumbling there for trying to solve this. I'm over here trying to fix my Miracast right now. Now your Miracast isn't working. I'll tell you what, we can go through as many tests as you want, but when it comes down to it, you cannot always rely on these wireless broadcasting systems when it comes to broadcasting our screens. I'm over here trying to fix it. He's over there trying to rotate, and I'm trying to fix it. It's chaos. It is chaos today. But hopefully you got the point. It wasn't as pretty as we might have liked, but you know, it's we got to kind of go with the punches. Julio says, while in multicam, is it possible to have a second operator controlling the camera on the Mevo app? Now, I want to confirm with you, but yeah, you can't. If you're in multicam and you're connected to the camera, the Mevo 2.0 app cannot be connected, right? I think that's the limitation.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, I thought as much. Let's see here. So Trevor says, we've been trying to work on getting Bluetooth earbuds to transfer audio from the Mevo 2.0 app to multicam. Do you have a step-by-step procedure to accomplish this? That's, once again, we're going to send you back over to Will. Have you tried it all with Bluetooth headphones or anything?
So right now, you can't do that. So bring audio into the multicam app, you can use the 3.5mm TRS input on the start. You can use USB audio. You can use Mevo mic, but you cannot do either the internal microphones of the device, like the iPad that I'm using here, or you can't use an input into the iPad right now. But it is something that we do plan on adding in the near future, so stay tuned.
When it comes to like actually controlling audio sources for the multicam app, would you be able to show us like what does that actually look like when you're doing audio controlling, when you're trying to control multiple devices at a single time?
Yeah, absolutely. So just by hitting this little waveform icon at the bottom, this brings you to all your audio from each one of your Mevos. So right now, I'm getting audio from a a single Mevo, but I can just easily mute that. And what you can do, this is nice because you can obviously have different Mevos doing different audio sources for different people. So you're doing like a podcast, you want to have a mic for each person, then you could just unmute 2 of those and adjust those as needed. Obviously, you could also do a single audio source for a microphone, and then you wanted to have maybe another audio source for music or sound effects. And then, of course, you can use just the internal microphones of other Mevos as well. So if you have a sporting event and you want to have a Mevo that is closer to the crowd or the audience of a show or something like that, and you want to capture that noise, you can do that just as easily by activating that mic as well for the internal mics. So you have a lot of options for audio with a multicam.
Yeah, that's awesome. And just going on with the audio stuff, Michael's asking, not Mevo question, what mics are those? They're way cool.
These are awesome mics. Yeah, so
that's the response. You're just getting that.
Yeah, they're just awesome mics. Yeah, so I've got the Bluebird.
Yep, I've got a baby bottle. It's the blue baby bottle. So they're both by Blue. They're both XLR microphones. So we do have a audio mixer right here that's taking all those audio inputs in. And then when it comes to the actual output, it's going from the board into the back of the Mevo Start. And then the Mevo Start handles all of the audio syncing. So you can use all of the advanced things. And now what's cool about things like Blue. So for example, the Blue XLRs, we can take in via 3.5, but say you don't need something this advanced or whatever it may be, you need just more affordable, cheaper, whatever it might be, right? So Blue offers other USB microphones, which have been known to work with Mevo, even Mevo First Gen, Mevo Boost, Mevo Plus, all of those things. And with the Mevo Start, the Blue Yeti and the Blue Yeti Nano, the USB versions, they all work simply by plugging it into your Mevo. So now the Mevo Start does have the USB-C, so you would need an adapter or an actual cable, which I don't have on hand to actually demo it. But there is you can just get the normal USB cable and get a USB-C cable at the end. You can order those on Amazon if you don't want to use adapters, or you could just get a USB-A to USB-C adapter, plug it directly in, and then it's going to populate in the audio input in the Mevo 2.0 app, and you can select it there. So you can use something advanced like an XLR microphone with a mixer, or you can use something basic as USB from like a Yeti or a Nano. That's a great question, and it's a common question. More times than not, you often see users trying to get more advanced audio, and using USB is one great way to do it. And then, you know, if you have the budget and you have the desire for even one step further, the higher quality, well, even further higher quality, the Blue Yeti and the Blue Yeti Nano. I mean, we've used it on the show before. They sound great. But, you know, we wanted just one step up, so we got a hold of these, but you can absolutely take advantage of the USB versions as well. All right, Trevor says, any word on getting the Mevo mug to become purchasable? You guys rock. No word on that. What we need to do is we need to open up an Etsy shop, do an Etsy shop, and see if we can get those sold.
Mevo sweaters,
I wonder if that's a conflict of interest. If we're selling things with the Mevo logo. I don't think that the company would like it. But they don't have to know. No, I'm kidding. If you do want something like this, unfortunately we can't sell them. And but what I could recommend you doing is, these were homemade. Our marketing person Dan has, I think it's, what are those things called? The printers?
I don't know. Sticker printers.
No, yeah, the sticker printers. It's called I can't remember what it's called. Cricut, the Cricuts.
Ah, okay.
Are they Crickets or Cricuts? I don't know. But anyways, is it Cricut? So they've got the Cricut, and there's like consumer things you can make, like stickers and stuff. So basically, he just took our logo and printed it out from home. So you can always do that if that's something you would like. I don't know where he got the mugs, but I do love them. We get mugs here for coffee, and I always use this one because it's larger, and I don't have to worry about spilling it because it's got a lid. Yeah, anyway, so we're not going to go on this long discussion about how I have a coffee cup and my preferences. Let's continue on. Dennis says, what is the official Mevo app called in the Apple Store? Because there are many Mevo apps listed. Your mics have a very rich tone to them. I'm glad you I guess I'm not sure. Do you enjoy this the rich noise? I hope so. If you don't, then I'm sorry. But thank you for the feedback. As far as the official Mevo app goes, is it still Mevo 2.0 on the App Store? So it's still Mevo 2.0. For a minute, we did just have Mevo. But you can always tell by looking for, oh, look at that. I had my lid open. But you can always tell by looking at the logo. So you can look on the actual app itself, and you'll see a Mevo Start on the logo of the app.
As Mevo Inc.
Yeah, it'll be Mevo Inc. And I think the only other ones, though, that are even Mevo are like, there's a golf one.
Right.
We know about that one. People confuse that quite often. But yeah, I believe that you can pretty much tell as far as you can pretty much tell. I'm getting in trouble. That's great. But you can pretty much tell that the app is for the Mevo because it's got a Mevo on the actual app. No other Mevo apps have our products on the icon itself. Ben Beckner says, do you have a roadmap for adding features to multicam? For example, which features you're working on releasing next? Now, we do have an internal roadmap, but even that has no dates. So I wish we did. I mean, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about releasing some information like that, just because it's like when we do release things like that, sometimes it can come back and bite us. Because sometimes it gets moved, and people buy things with plans in mind instead of execution times. But what would be great.
We do on the multicam page of Mevo.com, we do have a coming soon section of that. So those are the main features that we're going for. We don't have a timetable on that page, but those are the ones that we're going for.
Yeah, and we do have, like he mentioned, we do have a few things like that are currently available. I think it was like 4 or 5 things that are listed. But once again, no timelines. And we do have goals that we want to meet, but we just don't have specific dates that we can give. And things are always changing when it comes to software development. Trevor says, what cable is coming out of your audio mixer and into the back of your Mevo Star XLR to USB-C? No, so for this actual one, so there are ones that do that. So for example, like the Scarlett has the USB, it's not A, it's USB-B, I think. The Scarlett in the back of the USB-B, it's the back of the unit itself is USB-B. And then what goes out would be the USB-A. For this specific setup, we are simply going out of our headphone jack. And we're using, we've got 1/4 inch going into the back of the Mevo Start with the 3.5 TRS. So we don't use any adapters. We have in the past. We highly recommend, if you have the ability to go purchase the actual cable without adapters included. So for this one, we have in the past used, we don't have one over there anymore. Of course not. We have in the past used what's a 1/4 inch, and then it takes a 3.5. But now we went ahead. It was like $6. Bought the actual 1/4 inch. On the other end, it's 3.5. We don't have to worry about any kind of adapters, any kind of additional noise being added in. So you can definitely take advantage of things like that. Let's take a look here. So right now, let's see. I just want to kind of take a look real quick at the Mevo.com. So we still have that the DJ bundle. We've got the referral package. Hopefully you guys can keep some questions coming. Do you have anything you specifically want to go over in multicam today? I mean, I was really hoping for more participation. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into some graphics and see what we got.
So let's switch over to this great wide shot. First off, if you're new to the multicam app, it's this great way of connecting up to 3 Mevos in a single app for a single stream or a single recording. Right now, we're using 3 Mevo Starts, but it does work with 1st Gen, 2nd, and Mevo Plus and the Mevo Start. So all 3 of the Mevos are compatible. We just released the version 1.0, which allows for zooming and cropping as well as graphics. And you can do some really cool stuff with graphics. So I've loaded a bunch up. If you have maybe a gaming stream, maybe you want to use something like a cool little frame, nice little overlay, be right back. We have a lot of sports broadcasters that are using the multicam app, and so you can do stuff like the score, And this is also, these are graphics, but with the text overlaid. So the text is editable. So you can go to this, edit, and quickly change the score. Just like that.
I literally watch like every single one of your shows, and I honestly apparently never noticed that was even a thing. Like I knew we had the text, but I didn't know that. I thought yours was just a graphic. I didn't realize you had text overlaid on it. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's really cool. It makes it really easy to update the score, the inning, all that stuff. You can do overlay maybe for the players specifically. We have a lot of House of Worship broadcasts, and so a lot of the times they want to share the lyrics, so you can quickly do that. Throw those up on the screen. Obviously, you saw earlier you could do lower thirds. This is great if you're doing individual players as they're coming up to the plate. You can have their names ready, maybe a graphic for home run if that happens, luckily. So yeah, you can do a ton with the multicam app, and adding graphics makes everything so much more engaging and dynamic, and a lot more enjoyable for your viewers.
Yeah, and if you all haven't seen, we actually, well, not we, Will worked very hard and went out to the baseball field yesterday. So if you didn't watch the Mevo multicam show from yesterday, you can still catch that on both at Mevo Camera on Facebook and on YouTube. We have all of our VODs readily available, so if you do miss any of our shows, you can grab them there. But he really showed you, like, you know, some mounting options and like the ability to use even the Mevo mic app to bring in some audio solutions and things like that. So if you are interested in doing like baseball, and hopefully in the future we'll do more examples, whether it's volleyball, hockey, you know, church settings or house of worship, and whatever it may be, we want to do a lot more examples. So if you do have some suggestions that you would like either us to do with Mevo 2.0 app or us to do with multicam, please let us know. And then also another thing is, a lot of people have been very verbal about the desire to have like something like a graphics pack. If that's something you would also like to see, you know, where we can, you know, configure some basic graphics with like different color variations or something, and that way you can just kind of add your own text over it for multicam, let us know something like that too. You know, we're open to a lot of cool things, and we just want to make sure that we're helping everyone out with their productions. I'm trying to use NDI mode on Restream, but I'm just getting a black screen. I did make sure to turn on NDI mode on the Mevo 2.0 app. Any ideas? I honestly didn't know Restream even accepted NDI.
If you're talking about the Restream web interface, it's likely that you don't have the NDI camera selected. So what you want to do is open NDI virtual input on the Mac, and I think it was just changed to NDI virtual webcam on the computer, or on the Windows computers. So you want to make sure that your camera is selected there first.
Yeah, I've not really used any of the. I've tested Restream for just a few different things. Specifically, like, do they send 1080 out to Facebook? I did that recently. But you know, I've not really tried to use NDI or anything like that, because I kind of try to avoid web-based solutions, just because anything could go wrong. Outside of like, I prefer to use software-based solutions, not web-based. So I don't really do Restream, but that definitely makes sense to me. So Trevor says, is there greater clarity on the image if it is recorded than uploaded to YouTube, Facebook, opposed to live streaming? So actually the answer is yeah. So when you're streaming 1080, the highest resolution you're going to get specifically from Mevo 2.0 app is 6 megabytes per second. You'll never see a higher bit rate. Whereas a recording from the Mevo Start, you can go up to 50 megabytes per second. It's still going to be 1080, but it's going to be higher bit rate, which is going to be a little bit crisper of a shot. So you can absolutely get higher quality from a recording. Now, I almost recommend it, especially if you're already dropping down to 720, even 480, whatever it may be. If you're already being recommended to drop down because of whatever internet connection, interference, whatever it may be, I would almost just tell you to record anyways. I think your viewers who are watching, whether it's websites or for your viewers, they would much rather see a extremely high quality recording than a lower quality stream. I think they would rather experience the event in its full integrity, opposed to, you know, a lower bit rate or a lower quality stream. Now, if you're getting 1080 at 6 megabytes per second, which is the highest for Mevo 2.0, that's a great quality. You're gonna my personal preference would be to record. Dennis says, have you tested Mevo with StreamYard yet? Yes. I mean, a lot of users use StreamYard. I actually did an interview with DJ Mike Marquez. I almost always say Marquette, and I think it's because of that, the college or university. But you can absolutely use Mevo with StreamYard, 100%. Thomas says reset graphics. I'm assuming this is for multicam. Are you asking for like basically like you want to be able to press a button and it resets all your graphics, or like deletes them all? Or if you can provide some clarification, maybe you mean preset graphics, like where we have predetermined graphics you can edit from. Like in the Mevo 2.0 app, you can basically get these predetermined areas and select and color information. If that's what you're asking about, I think that's a great idea. Jeremy says, when can we add video intros? Do you know anything about video intros, my friend?
I don't. No. Not at this time. But if we do add, when we do add NDI input, then you'll be able to send NDI video to the multicam app.
And what's really useful to know is that regardless of what happens, whether it's a new update or a new announcement, just so you know, you can find all of these things, not typically in our shows, although when we do announcements for our shows, you'll know. It'll be in the title. It'll be like, check it out. However, most things that have not been announced, if we are going to announce them, they're going to be at Mevo Camera on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. We're not usually going to do any kind of breaking news on these shows unless you see it in the title. We're not going to leave you. It's not going to be some random shocker. I can't believe he just dropped it. Unless somebody does do that on accident, which, I mean, I guess it's bound to happen someday. So Jeff says, we're looking to wirelessly send video from a camera to a TV monitor 100 feet away. Is it possible to do this with Mevo in 1080? We will not be live streaming. Only on-site feed is needed. Unfortunately not, Jeff. So unless your TV accepts an RTMP stream, or unless your TV accepts an NDI input, there's no way for you to send your Mevo footage or feed directly to a TV. Now, what I do recommend, which you did clarify, you won't be live streaming. What I do tell people is if they do have a television, they can simply broadcast to YouTube or Facebook and then play it on that television, because most televisions these days are smart TVs. So you could do that. You can even install something like, and I had recommended it before, you can install something like a Fire TV or a Chromecast or something, and those also will turn your more basic TVs into smart TVs. Sounded like you.
Yeah, another, well, there is like a little bit of a tricky way that you could do it. You would need an Apple TV, and the way you can do it is Apple TV. There's a NDI app, I think, done by a company called Sierra, I believe. And so that's an Apple TV app. And so there you can turn your Mevo Starts NDI on and have it pick up on the Apple TV app. But you did say it was 100 feet away, so you're going to have like really, really good Wi-Fi.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Jeremy says, and I'm assuming this is a multicam question, how do you do a countdown clock?
So you don't right now, but it's definitely something that we want to add in the future.
He just dropped it. He just said you just don't do it right now. You can do it in the Mevo 2.0 app. You can also, unfortunately, it's just not available right now for multicam. It's definitely coming. I can't help but laugh because I was just like, you just don't. But it is coming. We absolutely understand the desire. We use countdowns for all of our live shows, so we totally get it. Which throws me off because when you go live with the multicam show, 100% I'm like, where's this countdown? But they're coming. I promise it's coming. Tony says, how can you connect Mevo multicam to OBS? Unfortunately, that's just another one of those you just can't. You don't. When it comes to multicam, the goal overall for multicam was to eliminate the the need for a computer. It wasn't to really use them in conjunction with each other. However, when it comes to that NDI thing, whether it's NDI in or out, if it is out, then you can, broadcast your output, your program out from multicam to OBS.
Do a custom RTMP stream from the multicam app to an RTMP server on your computer and have OBS pick that up. We have an OBS article in our help section, which kind of covers a little bit of how to do this with the Mevo 2.0 app, and it's the exact same with the multicam app. The only problem with this is it is a heavy strain on your network, as well as there will be a dramatic delay. So it's not ideal, and so I would definitely kind of wait till that NDI feature is out, but at the moment that would be the only way to do it.
I always kind of forget about that one. I mean, I understand. I know the OBS article is like extremely in depth about how to use it.
It's just not ideal.
Yeah, it's just,
so it makes sense.
I kind of think that's what it is. I would almost consider it a hack, to be honest, but I get the desire.
Right.
Trevor asks, and I think this is a good one, is the Vimeo producer still needed for Mevo 2.0 and multicam? My subscription is up for renewal next month.
No. So right now, the multicam app, all the features, whether it is graphics or otherwise, can be done without a Vimeo subscription. So if you use the multicam app versus the Mevo 2.0 app, you won't need it. But that being said, there isn't stuff like multi-destination put into the multicam app yet. So if you use multi-destination in the Mevo 2.0 app, you might want to keep that subscription.
So the individual, and please, if I really want to know how to pronounce your name, so I don't want to kill it, but he says it worked, and it really makes me miss your sound effects from the multicam shows. I really want to do just like the clapping and cheering one right now. But yeah, it worked. We're fixing problems live.
I love it.
Doing things.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's what's great about these shows is we get the experts for each individual apps. I mean, Will's been inside and outside of the Mevo multicam. He's been in everything. He's been involved in every step of testing. So he is definitely the leading expert when it comes to the multicam app right now. Jeremy says, when will pre-recording for live streaming be available? Once again, it's kind of one of those things. We don't really announce like release dates for things like that. It's kind of here. This is the best way I describe Mevo, and I do it pretty often, is we release things when we think that they're stable. We don't want to like rush things just to get a feature out. And since we have never had, video, MP4s, whatever it may be, we've never been able to input those things. So this is like from scratch. There is no engine for us to reference. There is no, whereas a lot of the Mevo 2.0 features, we've already implemented those. We already know they work. So getting those into the multicam, a lot easier than trying to introduce a new feature. So I would assume, and this is once again just an assumption, I'm gonna assume that the remaining features from Mevo 2.0 will probably make their way over before new features are added. Trevor says, I'm glad you made the 3-pack as it's a great way to gift Mevo to my friends. That's a great, I actually said that the other, I think somebody was talking to me about that the other day, who are also pastors and churches in Florida. Mevo makes streaming recording so much easier than any other platform. We're so glad to hear that. We actually just said that the other day, like you might not need 3. I get it, totally get it, especially if you're already an existing user and you just need 1 or 2 to finish off your pack. But you're saving, it's basically buy 2, get 1 half off. You're saving $200. So that's awesome. I'm so glad you're enjoying it, and I'm glad you're getting great use out of your Mevo, and I'm glad that you're sharing that experience with other people. Robert says, can I use multicam with Mevo Plus and Mevo Start through multicam?
Absolutely. Mevo Plus, Mevo Start, and the Mevo First Gen, you can use 3 of any combination that you want.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting thing, is that people often don't realize that they can just use your Mevo. I had seen somebody the other day in the Facebook groups. If you're not part of the Facebook groups, we're in those. If Mevo customer group is a great one. Mevo multicam group, also another good one. We are in there every day. Well, we tried to be. Today was a hectic day, so we weren't able to get in there just yet. But we try to get in there every day, and we try to interact. So you get to see a lot of really cool conversations, and that's really a common one, is like people believe You know, someone was even saying, should I be getting a Mevo Start so I can use multicam since my Plus doesn't work with it? And it's like, it does. You can absolutely use the very, very, very first edition of the Mevo first generation camera and still get away with using multicam. So that's what's awesome. Multicam was not released just for Mevo Start, although we do have a wonderful 3-pack you should take advantage of, especially if you are using a first gen. But you can absolutely take advantage of the multicam with older products that are Mevo as well. And you can use them side by side. You can have a single Mevo Start, you can have a Mevo Plus, a Mevo first gen, and all three of them will work side by side with no problems. Dennis says, do you have a setup, events, or application page showing different types of setup configurations, uses with devices, cables, apps used? Thanks. That was a extensive list. Okay, so Dennis, that's a great question. And it was great that you even asked that today because we just talked about it. We would really like to know from all of you, you know, what kind of scenarios do you want us to talk about? What kind of scenarios do you want us to produce? We've been talking about doing maybe a full day worth of showing, like we talking from point A to point Z. You know, we want to go from unboxing your first Mevo, and then we want to talk about what's in it. We want to talk about initial setup for that. We want to talk about audio, networking. Then we want to go into multicam. Let's talk about unboxing a 3-pack. Great. Now let's talk about using multicam. Let's talk about the graphics. Let's talk about network setup for that. Why are they different? How are they different? So if you have other examples and devices you want us to test or show you how they work with, if you want to talk about the multiple apps, if you want to talk about all the different software that you can use it with, please let us know what kind of configuration you would like us to see talk about from start to finish, because that's definitely something we would like to do. As Will even went remote yesterday at the baseball field, that's something we would love to do. We would love to take you to, you know, House of Worship. We would love to take you to, you know, a band performance or whatever it may be, a concert, and you really show you the flexibility that Mevo offers. So if you do have things that you want to see, let us know. It's the perfect time right now. You get to get one-on-one with us or one-on-two for today. And we love that feedback, and we want to make sure we're producing content that you want to see. Thomas says, will it work with Ecamm? Yes, absolutely. Ecamm does accepts NDI too, I believe. So it accepts what webcam mode and NDI. But yeah, absolutely. You can 100% use it with Ecamm. Jeremy says, what other features are coming to Mevo on the next release? That is a terrible response. Joseph says, bug fixes. So basically, as things are going to continue to progress, we do have a few things that we would like to address. So we have had some reported issues, and we plan to address those as soon as possible, as always. But unfortunately, we don't have a list of things that are going to be solved on this next issue. But as soon as it's released, you'll see those release notes immediately in those updates. I highly recommend turning on auto update, whether it's on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Turn on auto update, that way you don't miss out on these updates. And then as soon as you open up the app, whether it's multicam, which it sounds like it is, that you're asking about, you will be prompted with those changes. Jeremy says, I've been trying to use Mevo Plus and multi-camera and it won't work. Any idea how I can get it to work? Well, Jeremy, what I would recommend is opening a ticket at help.mevo.com, and then all three of us, as soon as this is over, we will be back in the tickets, and we'd be more than happy to troubleshoot. But what I would recommend is, first things first, make sure it's connected to the same network. That's a big one. And then also make sure that they can communicate on the network that you're using. If you aren't using a Mevo Start on that same network and that same configuration, then the Plus 100% should work. Nothing's different as far as the networking abilities of the two devices. So yeah. Tom says, how about to do a demonstration show, like a cooking show or a crafting show? We have Mevo and a Rode Wireless Go. We do have some Rode Wireless Go's here. So no, that's a great idea. Like I said, I want to do all of those types of shows. We've absolutely talked about it, and we really want to kind of hunker down and try to figure out what's next. What content do you want to see? And then we really want to make sure we get a plan together. We would really like to get that stuff done. We want to make sure you see how this all works from start to finish, basic setups to complex setups. We want to do all of it. A couple of London photography. I'm assuming this is on YouTube, so thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you're enjoying that 1080p stream over there. I love that quality. Hey, is the 3-pack Mevo coming to UK at all? If so, what's the price? Unfortunately, I am unsure of the price, but I am almost positive, and maybe one of our marketing people, Dan, I know you're watching, if you could go over there and chime in, maybe let him know if we have a timeline for when that's going to happen. As far as I'm aware, and I'm not aware of everything. I wish I was. But as far as I'm aware, I do believe we have every intention on this being available in the market, in all of our markets that we're in right now. We're just low on inventory when it comes to those. We're actually almost sold out in the US. So if you're thinking about getting it and you're waiting in the US, I don't recommend waiting much longer. But for the UK and EU customers, I'm 100%, not 100%, I can't say that, 99% positive that we are going to introduce the 3-pack to those markets as well. We just didn't have the inventory to ship them over there yet. But once we do, I'm almost positive it's going over there. Trevor says, is there a way to flip the video upside down in case the Mevo needs to be installed upside down from the ceiling? How could we turn on the Mevo on if it's in a difficult place to reach? Okay, so since my screen's still not allowing me to demo, can you demo flipping and multicam?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so this is actually very similar to the Mevo 2.0 app. So if you're talking about the Mevo 2.0 app, this is a good answer for you here. All right, so go into image adjustments and then scroll all the way to the side and you'll see flip. And you can turn that on and that'll just flip that image just like that. And if you are, I think, what was it, far away and you want to turn it on, you can use power using a USB. So you can have a long cable, and as soon as you plug that USB cable in, it'll power on the start.
And then once you take it away, it'll power off. And that way you don't have to worry about actually accidentally draining that battery. Great questions. And if you're trying to like mount it in a weird place that might not have a power adapter, I recommend using the power Ethernet adapter available at mevo.com. You can also get it on Amazon and I believe all of our other places like Best Buy. But you can 100% what that allows you to do. So like a USB cable, if you were unaware, has like a 15-foot limitation. Like once you get past that, you like need to get like additional adapters to like kind of boost the signal. So if you are seeing issues with longer USB cables, I highly recommend getting a power Ethernet adapter. What it allows you to do is it allows you to run up to 300 feet using a Ethernet cable opposed to a USB cable, and it does the same thing. It powers it and it provides data via Ethernet. A couple last questions. Dennis says, is a drone plus Mevo on a gimbal possible? 100%. Absolutely. So you can, so the Mevo, whether Mevo first gen, Mevo Plus, Mevo Start, all of them come with the threaded adapter. It looks pretty similar to this. It's not this, but it looks like this. And it's pretty standard for DSLRs, quarter 20, whatever it may be. It's pretty standard for like a DSLR, which gimbals typically are made for. So you can 100% use it with a gimbal. Thomas says, combined shots feature, like 2 Mevos in one shot. I love that idea, especially for, you know what I think would be solid is like if you had, so like in the Mevo 2.0 app, right, you can define multiple shots, the virtual shots that gives you that concept of having multiple cameras. I love the idea of being able to define 2 distinct shots with a single camera and kind of showing them side by side instead of showing the whole angle, just kind of splitting the screen. But of course, then, you know, using 2 different cameras as well would be great. But looks like we are over an hour of our show today. We typically try to keep these around 45 minutes, but you guys did not disappoint with your questions. So thank you for tuning in today. As always, we will be back tomorrow for the Mevo audio show with Joseph. He is our in-house audio engineer. We are lucky to have him on our customer experience team here at Mevo. So if you are interested in audio, whether it's, you know, using wireless audio, the Mevo mic app, advanced audio settings, you want to learn about, you know, cardioid and, you know, all of that great advanced audio stuff. If you're interested in any of that, these streams are completely free. So you get to pick the brain of someone who's done it in the industry, and he will cover things as basic as the internal audio or as complex as using a mixer with microphones like this. So please, if you're interested, come tune in 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Mevo Camera. Where would we send people who will? Where would they go?
Help.mevo.com. We've got a great help section that covers everything from multicam to the Mevo 2.0 app. And if you have any further questions, please open a ticket and one of us 3 will be happy to help you with whatever question.
Absolutely. Help.mevo.com. Open yourself up a ticket. Definitely make sure you check around all the articles. We have tons of information. Every feature that is in the multicam app, every feature that's in the Mevo 2.0 app, every streaming destination, all of them, every single thing has an in-depth article. Most of them are supported with supporting media, or we provided supporting media, whether it's a video or images or animations, whatever it might be, charts, flow charts. There's tons of stuff there. So if you're curious about a specific feature, I can guarantee you it's probably covered. However, if you are not able to find it, help.mevo.com, and we'd be more than happy to point you in the right direction. So until tomorrow at the Mevo audio show at Mevo Camera, both on YouTube and on Facebook, we will see you all then. Thanks for tuning in.